These don't happen often, and clearly it's for a good reason. Yeah, you can only look for so much true quality in this one. I'm D Wicket, and these are the 10 best man versus women matches within the WWE. And seriously, emphasis on the fact that these haven't happened very often. And seriously, that is for a good reason. Number 10, James Ellsworth. Immediately you're noticing that my warning to this introduction wasn't bullshit and really was warranted. Yeah, James Ellsworth's name just showed up on a ranking of best something, and it involves girls. This is a weird life that I'm living. James Ellsworth has gotten himself in all kinds of trouble with the various ladies of the SmackDown Live roster, while also siding with a woman like Carmella and playing crucial roles for her, such as nearly winning the first women's Money in the Bank. James Ellsworth as a person is somehow the 10th best man versus women match, and I'm okay with that.
Oh. Yikes. Oh, Becky said. Yeah, too late. Oh, wait a minute. And the disarmer. Or the disarm him. And Ellsworth taps out to Becky Lynch. Someone get him a. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, spinning back fist right to the back of the neck.
Number 9, Stephanie McMahon versus Brock Lesnar. This is real. During that legendary feud of Stephanie McMahon versus her maniacal father Vince, we'll get to that, Stephanie was put up against the next big thing, Brock Lesnar, and the match that came out of it was a complete fucking joke. I think the only actual offense of the entire match was Brock throwing Stephanie into the barricade, and then she just ran away while Vince laughed like a fucking lunatic asshole that he honestly kind of is. This one makes the list for the history books, basically. The fact that there will always be a fact that Stephanie McMahon has gone one-on-one with Brock Lesnar.
No, you didn't! He's a lunatic! Wait a minute! Stephanie!
Number 8, Heath Slater versus Lita. In the lead up to Raw 1000, WWE decided to start building up a sort of fun story where Heath Slater would challenge old legends, and week after week he'd get beaten up. It was a solid little bit, it was fine, it gave Heath something to do, it wasn't helping his credibility, but at least it gave him some consistent TV time, along with other legendary names such as Diamond Dallas Page, Psycho Sid, Vader, I think Sergeant Slaughter, Doink the Clown. Lita would come out one week to challenge the one-man band. She didn't come alone, though, as some hired protection wrestled the majority of the actual match. That hired protection came in the form of the APA. This one wasn't pretty, but at least Lita's moonsault was.
He hadn't had any luck whatsoever with the Raw Legends. But I'm sure we got some more here tonight.
What? But I don't think Lita's done yet.
Oh, look at this!
Moonsault from Lita. Cover. Can I say it? Vintage Lita.
Number 7, John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room and the reason that this is on the entire list in itself. The match is whatever. It really was designed so that John Cena could propose afterwards. The match might not have gone down as the most special fight of either man or women's life, but it definitely was one of the most special WrestleMania moments of all time, even though they'd split up just a year later. And the moment itself was kind of obvious and felt really forced. Well, at least we got great heel work from The Miz. Those skits were fucking hilarious.
Better than Daniel Bryan did. No, come on. Whoa! Wow! That just snapped the taste out of the Miz's mouth, and there goes the Miz up to the floor. So watch out! Look out!
Nikki Bella taking down the Miz.
Number 6, Santina Marella. WrestleMania 25 had a Battle Royal match with the women from all throughout history to culminate in a celebration of a single woman to be left standing and praised as not only the best diva on the roster, but also Miss WrestleMania. Otherly women might be judged based on their looks, but here at the WWE, we respect our female talent. We let them fight for their legitimacy. Our chosen winner, Santino Marella in drag, because we didn't actually get those good female morals until 2016. It should be at this point that the viewer looks towards the title of this video and stares at confusion in the choosing of the word best. Yeah, this might have been a really sarcastic one. What lunatic WWE moment brought you to the point of requiring sarcasm to explain its stupidity? Let us know in the comments down below.
I've said that before, but there's a... Whoa. Hey, wait, this!
Well, the diva you talked about just becomes the kid to survive.
Number 5, Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon. Oh, And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We've peaked. We have hit our official high point of the night as chairman and premier owner of the WWE, Vincent Kennedy McMahon himself, has challenged his own flesh, his own blood, his own fucking daughter to an I Quit match, no less. Oh yes, I am serious. Vince McMahon has had a match against his own daughter where the stipulation demanded of him to beat his daughter to the point of begging for mercy. And he did. Vince made his daughter cry. I quit in the name of business, in the middle of a ring, in front of not just a live TV audience, but a pay-per-view audience. You had to pay to see that shit. What the fuck?
Tap out, Stephanie. Just be done with it. Swallow the pride and get out of here. Help. There he is. Oh, here she comes. Stephanie. And there he goes. He's got him. The cover. Get him, Stephanie. Shoulders down, Shannon. There's his
Piper, look at. Do we have to call this? We don't have a camera on it yet. Look at the towel away. Look at the towel away.
Number 4, Chyna versus Val Venis. Now let's break into the very few select matches of these that actually had some resemblance of quality to them. Here, as we take a trip through the awfully insensitive history of the WWE, we finally see some positivity in the female division as Chyna has taken her rightful place atop the mid-card of the roster. So perfectly she's done this that Chyna, the first woman to do so, managed to become the Intercontinental Champion, and this was one of her title defenses. It's a fairly standard matchup, but it features a female IC champion, some Latino heat, and Trish Stratus, so it's got bonus points out the ass.
She's the one that was responsible for Val Venis becoming the Intercontinental Champion in the first place. Well, you got it. Then we know. Well, I don't know if there's a relationship anymore. Did she? Yes.
Here's your winner and still.
Number 3, Stephanie McMahon versus Triple H versus Chris Jericho. Steph really lucked herself out on this one because while the match truly is pretty great, it is not because of her. While Jericho usually found himself to be at the sideline of the greater story involving Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in 2002, it was Steph who found herself at the sideline of this post-WrestleMania matchup. Taking place on Raw and being for the WWF Championship, the angle was still hot and the crowd matched, culminating in a solid effort, and while maybe it's not because of the woman, it's definitely one of the better man versus women matches out there, if only by technicality.
Canvas and Rembrandt. Uh-oh. I don't think she's reaching that at all. Wait a minute. Hey! The pie fakes. Now what? Keep your cool.
Number 2, Chyna versus Jeff Jarrett. This spot originally went to Chyna versus Chris Jericho's matchup at Armageddon 99, but fuck it, we've already seen Jericho on this list. Why not give it up to the match that gave Chyna the Intercontinental Championship in the first place? No Mercy 1999 saw a good housekeeping match between Chyna and Jeff Jarrett that resulted in the legendary women's wrestling wall breaker claiming the first and only ever Intercontinental Championship reign for any women ever. There's some notable things here. Good housekeeping match. What? This match is Chyna's highest rated match of all time, and it's kind of one of the biggest matches of ever. It might be the biggest women's match in history because look at this significance. It definitely deserves its place in the history books.
That's not a household item, is it? It certainly is. I guess it is. I don't know. The referee doesn't count. And Turner.
Honorable mention. I didn't even write any out. What do we got? What would be 11th place on this list? What, Vicky Guerrero versus Edge? That happened, right? But let's go with that. And number 1, Ronda Rousey. This list was a complete joke for about halfway through. Some of the entries were decent. One entry was actually a genuinely good one-on-one. And then there's this. Easily, so easily, the best serious confrontation the WWE has ever pitted between a male and a female wrestler. While technically the WrestleMania 34 matchup of Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon was a mixed tag team match, meaning that men and women didn't actually fight each other, the build-up to the match saw Ronda pitting Triple H cleanly through a table, so anything went for this match. Anything. And they lived up to that idea too, as Ronda went all out on Trips during the match, leading to probably the best male versus female sequence in WWE history.
Carried off with a 14-time world champ. A vicious assault by Rousey.
And those are the 2 best man versus women matches and 8 other awful pieces of WWE history. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below. And be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. Now, be very cautious. If you don't turn on notifications within like the next 5 seconds, James Ellsworth is going to beat Ember Moon next week.